Greetings and salutations, everyone. I hope everyone is still doing well, and welcome to this night-ending bonus. Before we jump into it, a couple quick links. As many of you know, I rely on Patreon, PayPal, channel membership, and the merch to help the channel to continue to grow and go. Links to Patreon, PayPal, and channel membership is in the description below. The merch displayed directly under the video. Also, Dogman Frightening Encounters, Volume 1 through 3, the audiobook versions. They were written and researched by Tom Lyons, narrated and produced by me, Jeff Nadolny. Those audiobooks are available on Audible, Amazon, and iTunes, links to which are also in the description as well. And finally, last but definitely not least, if you'd really like to help support the channel to continue to grow and go, simply subscribe. It does not cost a cent. Click the like button, takes half a second. If you don't want to miss out on any of the informative uploads that I put out daily, click the bell icon, and folks, please leave a comment. Why? Well, because all of these things really do help the channel to continue to grow and go. They definitely do matter and are appreciated. Now, everyone, I have taken far too much of your time. Let's jump in to this night-ending bonus upload, shall we? Retired military, great guy. I've spoken with him 2 times now, and he has shared a lot of stories. We've just, shot the breeze, and he's got a couple of amazing encounters that occurred on a military base. And tonight, guys, I give you Fred. Fred, how are you?
I'm good. How are you all tonight?
Very good, very good. It's a pleasure having you on, and thank you for your service for this country. The floor is yours, Fred. So anything you want to say, the mic is all yours.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Well, I'll start with my encounter. My encounter happened on Whiteman Air Force Base in '92, and it was around Halloween time, so late October, early November time frame. And at that time, the base was drawing down its missiles and getting ready to receive its first bomber. So my team and I were sent there to help train the security forces on how to do airfield security and other various security associated with the aircraft. We were going to do a nighttime training exercise with the security forces, and my team and I, there was 4 of us, were sitting in an up-armored Humvee on the far side of the base. Now, Whiteman is a very small base. It has the main part of the base is on the north side, and then it has a runway, and then on the south side, which is where we were operating at, is where the restricted area is. And there's also a dense area of forest that's over on that side that they use for training and for exercises. We were sitting up in that area in the up-armored Humvee. All of us were armed. We all had 15 rifles, or one person had an M16 machine gun, and another one had an M16 with the 203 grenade launcher. And we were watching the security forces using night scopes to get a layout of their operations, how they were working, stuff like that, to form our plan for our attack on them. As we were doing this, the area where we were at in the forest, it just went death awfully quiet. And the four of us, we all went and we all just got this really bad, eerie feeling. That something was wrong.
Are you okay?
Oh, yeah. Just my wife came in. It's the middle of the night here. And as the ground, everything went silent, and we were like, what's going on here now? And we all began looking around, trying to figure out what in the world's going on, what's happening. And I noticed a pair of glowing red eyes about 8 foot off the ground. Now, this is about, like I said, 1:30 in the morning. So, like I said, about 1:30 in the morning, we see these glowing red eyes. And instantly, all of our sphincters go super tight, and we get that we're being hunted feeling. I use the starlight scope to try to look over as we're piling into the Humvee to get out of there, and all I was able to notice was it was a bipedal thing that was about 8 foot tall, and it was built. It was sort of like Arnold Schwarzenegger. It was a large creature. We threw the Humvee in gear, raced around, and totally didn't even go with the calling into security control or anything to confirm who we are or anything. Raced straight around and just went straight to the fire team bunker. Went in there, shut and locked the door, secured it, and spent the rest of the night in there with the alert fire team. And they kept looking at us like, are you guys all right? What happened? Did you guys do something? It was like, we don't want to talk about it. We're just here for the night. We're just going to check you guys out, see that everything's going on okay in here. And we stayed in there the rest of the night until they had their shift change at 6 in the morning. And that was when we finally went out and followed their bus back around to the other side so that we could turn in our equipment and stuff at the armory as well. It was one of those, being a combat veteran, never had anything like that happen before. And around there, you have Knob Noster State Park, which is a heavy forested area. And you also have across the road, a Johnson County egg farm, which is a giant chicken factory for eggs. And that's why we didn't smell anything that night, because the wind was going across where the chickens were at. All we could smell was the droppings off the chickens. Now, also while we were there, the base was built on a old Indian burial ground, and numerous people would see things such as shadows that would be going the wrong direction, or one person saw a Native American Indian head only sticking up out of the ground looking around. I saw what looked to be the Grim Reaper at one of the barracks just wandering around and everything, of which I didn't do anything. I just went straight to my room and pretended like I didn't see it. Scared the living stuff out of me. And after that, we left that base with a few months, and it was the best time after we left that base. That base just, whenever I think about it, it always gives me goosebumps. One of the best part of that base was seeing it as we were leaving.
Yeah, I can imagine.
And yeah, it was one of those. It was spooky. Even when I was at other various places around the world and stuff, never got that feeling like from there.
Now, when you guys came up on, when you guys stopped, the place went dead silence. You guys were armed. You guys were, not just a couple little guns. You guys were packing some serious heat.
Yeah, we had, like I said, we had two M16s, one M16 with a 203 40-millimeter grenade launcher. One guy had a M60 machine gun. Plus, we all had M9 9-millimeter pistols that were Berettas as well. And ammo for everything, live ammo.
Right. So you guys were...
Yeah, and even... Go ahead, yes, Bob.
I was just going to say that you guys were locked and loaded, ready to go. And, like you said, combat experienced veteran. And this thing scared the living bejesuses out of 4 combat hardened soldiers. It must have been huge. It must have been terrifying to see. And I know just talking to you, you still get, goosebumps telling me the story of it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's one that, even, like I said, even though it happened in 92, it still gives me the goosebumps, and I don't like talking about it just because of that. It's just, it's not a nice memory to have.
Right. Well, I certainly appreciate you sharing it with us. I know initially you didn't want to come on. Then you shared it with me via email and through our conversation. I really do appreciate you coming on, and I couldn't be so blessed to have you on. So thank you.
You're quite welcome.
So that, guys, is Fred's military encounter. Terrifying. Like I said, any encounter, even if it's not up close, just having something like that is terrifying because your brain isn't ready to accept it. And whatever it was, thank God it didn't come out of the woods at you. And like you and I were talking, when Mr. Coleman shared the chicken coops, that kind of rung a bell with you, because then you remembered that across the way there was a chicken farm, and obvious, plenty of food, plenty of water, plenty of woods.
Yeah.
So whatever it was, possibly Dogman, possibly Sasquatch, it was big and definitely scary. So
yeah, don't want to come across again.
Right. Well, I appreciate you coming on. I know it's late over where you are. And is there any last words that you want to say to anybody?
Just everybody, these things actually do are real. I didn't believe in them until I had my experience with it and scared the living daylights out of myself seeing it. So if you're going out, please be careful and don't think that you're the alpha predator in the woods, because you're not.
Right on, right on. Thank you so much, Fred, for coming on. Once again, thank you for your service, and I'll talk to you soon, all right?
Will do, thank you.
All right, thank you. Have a great night.
You as well, thanks.
Part 2 of today's upload is going to be an encounter or update from a subscriber named Michael. He lives out in Arkansas. His girlfriend also had sent in some encounters. They both have had encounters on their property. Initially, he was in his garage working on his motorcycle, and his dog started going crazy, barking, and he saw something unexplainably, like a Dogman, jumped in his camper and hid out. Throughout the course of time, he has, and his girlfriend has, seen Dogman-like creatures around his property. I invited Michael to come on and hopefully share his entirety of encounters with us. This is an update from Michael. So 3 nights ago, I went outside at around 9:30. It had just gotten dark and started to cool off. The days here have been not only hot but muggy. Humidity that seems to zap the strength out of you. I no longer have my Ninja, and since then I bought a scooter, but the day I bought it, the belt broke on it, and so went to get a new belt for it. I waited for dark to go and try to get it put back on the scooter, and that's when I heard every cricket in the entire area go silent. I then took the flashlight and started scanning the tree line around me and noticed a set of yellowish, or more like amber-colored eyes watching me from about 40 yards out behind the shed. I then went back inside the camper and grabbed my phone, turned on the camera, and set it for video to record when I went back out there. So behind the shed and off to the right is a small gully where a creek runs through the properties. It was there that it was crouched and watching me. The odd thing was that when I raised up my phone and started to record, it stood up and walked away from the property, deeper into the forest. In the morning, I walked over to where the gully or large creek bed is, and it's at least 4 feet down a slope to the creek. That means this thing was huge. Also, beside the eyes, all I saw was the back legs, and they were bent like the Canis lupus legs are. Besides this one thing, nothing really special has happened out here other than me losing Michelle. Personally, I think it was just curious to see why it hasn't seen her around here lately, and just came to see what was going on. I know that this thing is smart, and that it doesn't mean any harm, as it could have done so many times it wanted to in the past. So Jeff, this is what's been happening as of late. So guys, without digging into my files, these two, Michelle and Michael, had a dog. I forget the name of the dog. Very unusual name. Cool name, but unusual. And they both had seen Dogman-like creatures out and with their dog. The dog usually goes on high alert when it's outside and freaks right out. I'd like, hopefully, to have Michael on. I can put together all of his and her encounters record him a day before he comes on. That way you guys are familiar with it a little better. On to today's next encounter. These next couple of encounters were submitted to me by Donald Coleman Jr. My pet peeve belongs to game wardens in Tennessee, Alabama, Mississippi, and Kentucky. No matter whose boat I am in, whether as a passenger or driver, our boat will get pulled over every time. It's like I'm jinxed, cursed like in the movie Uncle Buck. He always referred to his beaver hat as people get angry seeing me wear this hat. In my case, it's my flaming red hair and freckles that brought out the anger toward me from the state game wardens, without fail, every single time. And I'm scheduled to be driving my cousin's deck boat on Lake Pickwick, August 22nd, 2020. We shall see if the jinx can be broken this time. I go with cousin Scott Edwards, who has a lakeside cabin on Lake Pickwick in Burton Branch, in southern Hardin County, Tennessee. We would do multiple state long-distance river journeys all over the mid-America. Daily mileage in the restored 1968 19-foot winter fiberglass tri-hull. He has it for like a pop-up camper, Bimini, 2 side curtains and mesquite netting, and boat seats fold down to make single beds. We also have a propane burner to cook meals on. Anyway, locked through Pickwick Dam, heading first towards New Johnsonville, Tennessee. 105 river miles ahead to spend the night at Cousin Laura Wood's residence, and docked Scott's boat at Pebble Island Marina. After AM breakfast, we got underway, headed to Lake Barclay State Resort Park on LBL. That was 250 river miles, and we arrived around 4:30 p.m. And a Kentucky game warden checked out our boat registration and our safety equipment and asked, "Where's your fishing gear or hunting guns?" I replied, "Sir, we are only sightseeing and taking wildlife photos and enjoying mid-American river system." So he rechecked our boat again, looking for illegal contraband, and found nothing. And now I'm really pissed off at his bully lawman static, and we filled up the gas tank and 5 other plastic 20-gallon handheld cans, went to the lodge, checked in, and went to our room and took a nap. Dressed and went to eat at the Inn's restaurant, which has great food. Guess who I saw there eating? The game warden and park ranger. State troopers sitting around 2 big tables. After eating steak dinner, I changed tables and decided to sit next to the lawman's table as I quietly heard them talk about code names for cryptids like Sasquatch, Black Bear, and Dogman, Black Dog, and Werewolf, Black Cow. This code name is used all over the United States when lawmen are summoned to an animal disturbance call. This also includes sheriff deputies, police and public safety officers, constables, and marshals. The time was about 8:45 February 2011. I didn't hear about the LBL murders until I first shared my encounter stories with Lon Streichler on Phantoms and Monsters, February 5th, 2015, in written form using my own written words. This is also a true story. In 1982 and 83, year I was public safety officer with South Fulton Police Department in Tennessee. The local liquor taverns were exactly alike, front half in Kentucky and other half in Tennessee, the rear section. And when law enforcement did nightly checks, Fulton City and South Fulton did checks together. Our state line authorities backed each other up through thick and thin. Now one weekend night in December of 82, our dispatcher went home at around 1 in the morning, so I took her place from 1 a.m. until 3 a.m. I usually spent those couple hours looking through the city code books of law, see what exists law were still enforceable and haven't been repealed. The phone rings around 1:30 in the morning. A woman cries out at me that her home was under siege by two criminals holding her and her daughter and her boyfriend hostage against their will, and she barely escaped capture and was hiding under her bed when she called my police department. So I asked her 10:20. She advised me in northeast corner of Aban County, Tennessee, next to Weakley County, Tennessee, and next to Kentucky state line. I asked her why she had made contact with either sheriff department, only with mine. I got the sixth sense telling me this was a bogus call, so I told the woman to hold on. I was able to raise on low-band law enforcement radio Memphis, Tennessee Highway State Troopers. I had a 1033 emergency traffic and needed immediate attention and requested a high-ranking official with Tennessee Highway Patrol to contact me, public service ASAP, and a captain called me over the telephone and I relayed the 1033 emergency traffic concerning hostage situation. And he then asked me this bizarre question: how far is the LBL from this event? Which at the time struck me rather odd, like, why bring up the LBL in the first place? Which at the time, I had never heard of the LBL murders of the family of four that happened in March of 1982. Anyway, Captain told me to treat this hostage call as the real deal, and multiple agencies responded to the 1033. Two Kentucky Sheriff Department, Kentucky State Police, Weakley County Sheriff Department, Martin Police Department, and Rescue Squad's ambulance service. And I was later proved my sixth sense was proven accurate, as the woman takes original Home Alone episode before the creation of 911. That stunt cost her 11 to 29 days in the county jail. And there you have it, folks. I do hope you all enjoyed this night-ending bonus as much as I enjoyed sharing it with you. I'd like to thank you all for supporting the channel. It is, after all, your support that helps the channel to continue to grow and go, and will give us all a place and a chance to share our experiences and theories judgment-free. Everyone is simply treated with the respect we deserve. Please, everyone, stay safe, happy, healthy, and ever vigilant, keeping an eye on our children, pets, family, and our friends. These creatures are real. They are out there and dangerous. Share this information with those you love and care about, and it may just help save their lives someday. Until next time, never stop asking questions. Never stop searching for the truth. And God bless you all.